What's going on? What's going on? Trying to get back into doing my FYIs, a look into black business. What's going on, cousin? How are you? How have you been? Gonna be interviewing Myisha Franklin Allen of DNM Squared Travel Agency. Anybody looking for any travel needs? You can contact Myisha Franklin Allen. Let me see. Trying to see what's going on with Myisha. But in the meantime, in between time, this doggone weather just changed up on the system. So that is so crazy. 1 minute it's hot, the next minute it's like I gotta go find a jacket. So, oh, there she go. Let me see. Do, do, do. I sent you a request, Myisha. Just accept it. All right. Let's see. Try it again.
Hey, G.
What's up, girl?
Friday. It's Friday.
End of the week and the last day.
So, Atlanta. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Good. Good. Finally, we got it. We got here.
Yeah. We get everything squared away. You good?
We'll see. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got my co-host over here. So, Onyx.
Nice. I put mine out. I'm surprised he's not scratching at the door, but I figured the boys would be home soon and he would try to get out. So I just left him outside. So we'll see how that
Okay.
goes.
I'm just putting that out there because he had been barking. So I don't know if he gonna start back.
Can't control the fur babies. That's for sure.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. All right. So please introduce yourself to the viewers, Myisha.
Myisha. So I am Myisha Franklin Allen. I am a wife, a mother, and CEO of DNM Squared Travel. I have been doing travel business for a little over a year now. It's just something that I was really, really passionate about. So we talked about starting a business for a while, and it just finally clicked one day. Like, this is something that I enjoy. This is something that I'm passionate about. So it's what I should be doing. So that's why we're here.
Exactly. So, why did you decide to start the business in the first place? Was it, you know, just a hobby or, you know,
I would say a little bit of both. So my husband and I had been talking about, like, hey, we really need to be looking at, what we want to do for ourselves. You work a 9 to 5, but we've always wanted something for ourselves. I come from a family that has lots of entrepreneurs. My grandfather was a contractor. My uncle has his own tax business. My mom has done taxes. I just come from a line of entrepreneurs. So I knew it was something that I always wanted for myself, but just finding that thing that you really enjoy, like, you kind of engage with all these different ideas. You see people starting different businesses and things, and you think, oh, that would be cool, but it never really clicked. Like, it was never really something that I was truly passionate about. And we went. we planned a trip to Tulum for our birthday. It was a couples trip. And when I got back, it's like it just clicked. Like, this is something that I love. This is something that I enjoy. And it was at a time when COVID was, had everyone unsure about traveling out of the country, even traveling within the country. So it really made me want to show people that it was a possibility, that you didn't have to be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone, that there were safe ways to do this, and you could still enjoy life and get out and travel and see the world. And, Mason is one that is just like, he studies maps. He's always asking, where is this place? Where is that place? What are these people like? What are those people like? And it was something I just wanted to show him. Like, I didn't want to just talk to him. I'll be, we're always like, go look it up, but I also
Go find out for yourself.
yeah, go find out. But I also wanted to be able to show him, to really take him to these places and have him experience the cultures. And I think it just makes you, such a more compassionate person, to really see how different people live and why they choose to live these different lives, and just to appreciate what we have here, a lot more too.
Okay. So I guess what would be different now? Because I know, like, before you could pretty much just travel and do whatever, but now are they like asking for vaccine cards? Are they like, COVID tests? So
Yeah, so it runs the spectrum. There are some places you can go to now, and you can just get up and go. Right now, the United States has a requirement that you have to get a COVID test to come home. But depending on your destination, you may need a COVID test. You may have to be vaccinated. You may just be isolated to the resort. It really just depends on, where you're going and what kind of traveler you are.
okay, okay. Like, well, I asked that one and that one. What other goals are you wanting to accomplish?
For my business,
Yeah.
I think my biggest goal business wise is to really get more, I guess, families involved. Like I was talking about Mason, and one of the things that from my experience, I realized, having gone to Georgia Tech, afterwards, I really realized that some of the things that I was being taught, I didn't understand, not because of the content, but because of lack of experience and exposure. It just was something that the example that they were using to teach this thing, I had never experienced. I had never been exposed to. So that's something that really kind of stuck with me, and something that I said, I want to make sure that my child has those experiences. So when that people are talking about these things in school, it makes sense to them. And that's kind of like one of my big goals, from a company standpoint, is to just really engage families and have our children exposed to, these different environments, these different cultures, and just the level of compassion that you develop from those experiences.
Yeah, I get. Well, I've never actually been outside the United States, so um,
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
mean, same. I think my first flight, I was 22,
Oh,
maybe.
well, I can't say that because I've been to New York several times. I've
No,
been to
my
New
first
York.
flight, I
Yeah.
would have been 22, and it was a one-way flight. We drove down to Florida, in school, drove down to Florida, and I needed to come back before everybody else. So that's really the only reason I even flew then. And then I think about Mason, who's been flying since he was 9 months, and like just the differences of, like, when we go to the airport, he knows what to do. If we say we're leaving, he knows how to pack his bags. Like the experience and the exposure is just so different. And I think it's beneficial because there's a level of confidence, I think, that comes out of that too. Like, there was a fear that I didn't even know existed in me about going to these other places. Like, how am I going to function? I don't know the language. I don't know the culture, but that's the whole joy of it, right? That's the whole purpose of it. And I think having him just go and do these things early in life, it gives them that confidence to not be fearful. Like he talks about going to China, like it's like walking down the street. know? And to me, at his age, that would have been such a far-fetched, idea, but I love that. Like, that's what makes travel and what I do, like, so amazing to me.
China. What made him think about China? They studying
Right,
something in
and
school.
that's the thing. I have no idea. Like some things he says make sense. Like I can relate it to like the sports teams that we watch. Like we're a big sports family, and a lot of our travel is around. Hey, the Falcons are playing this team, so let's go to this stadium. Or he wanted to go to London because the Falcons have a game in London this year.
Yeah, I
But
heard
for
about that
him, I
one.
mean, yeah, we're not going, but I wish we could have, but it didn't work out this year. But if it happens in the future, we would definitely do it. But for him, it's just I'm not sure where China came from. It was China and Rome for a while. I have no idea why, but
What?
those were his two. And he was very disappointed once when COVID happened and he found out it was a whole world thing and we were kind of, stuck in our little bubble for a while. But yeah, it's just a completely different state of mind, and I love it. Like that's what I wanted for him. So I want to share that with others and kind of, get that vibe going with some more of our kids.
That's definitely something. He got more experience than me because I don't think I've traveled. Well, I mean, I would say on a plane. I can't say I ain't traveled, but on a plane since before COVID. So
Really?
yeah, he definitely got more experience than me. And how did you come up with your business name, Miss Myisha?
Ah, so my husband is Duquay. I'm Myisha, and my son is Mason. We're all math science people. So D and M squared is kind of like a play on E equals MC squared. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like a scientific thing. So that's how I came up with
I
it.
would have never figured
It's
that out.
very, I know it's very us. It's very us.
Yeah, yeah, it does sound like you. Um, I was looking at it, when I was typing it in. I was like, I wonder where she got this from. But yeah, it sounded like a little Georgia Tech thing. But
It's total GT vibe, right?
exactly, exactly. So how was opening a small business affected your personal and family life?
Uh, I would say in a positive way. I'll start with the positive first. It has, like, I really talk about the concept of business with Mason. And even at his school, they have an entrepreneurship program. So he knows all about it. And really just trying to get him
At his
to,
school, how old is
uh,
he?
he's in the third grade.
Oh
At
my
his elementary
God.
school, they have an entrepreneurship
Well, that's
program.
good.
Yeah,
I don't think they
yeah,
was telling
it's
us about it
great.
till we got to high school, but okay, good.
Exactly. Yeah, they start much younger now. And I mean, like they do little things, selling cookies, selling pencils, whatever, but it's teaching them, to try to figure out ways to make money on their own. And I remember
That's
one day
good.
Nathan came in. Yeah, I love it. He came in and he said, Mom, when I'm done playing video games, I'm going to help you do some research for your travel business. And I was right on, Nathan. You can go.
Wow, I didn't know they was doing it that young. I was
Yeah,
definitely gonna get it
yeah.
for us. Hmm.
So in that sense, I would say it's been really positive. I don't know that I would say anything is negative. It's just, finding the time to balance your personal life. I'm still working a full-time job. I have a husband that needs his time and attention, and then giving care to my business, so in the beginning it was a challenge. There's a lot of training, a lot of research, a lot of information to learn. So there was a bit of a challenge there, but I feel like we've kind of found our stride. Like I can just kind of when we're doing TV time, I'll still have my laptop and just kind of, research a little bit as I'm going through um, different things, different topics, or if I'm researching a specific trip for someone, I just kind of try to incorporate it into what we're doing. Or even yesterday when we were talking, like I literally had my laptop at Mason's soccer game, but at least
You
I'm in
sure
his
did. You
soccer
told me
practice.
too. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
but at least I can be there and kind of multitask and keep things going. So I would say so far it's been good. Like I feel like my husband is incredibly supportive, and I told you about Mason and him wanting to help. So I feel like it's really been a good thing.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I'm
So you
excited.
do plan honeymoons, right?
I do plan honeymoons. I just finished planning a honeymoon to Costa Rica. For
Wow.
a couple. Yeah, they wanted to go to St. Lucia, but St. Lucia COVID restrictions were, it didn't suit their travel style. Like they are the type that want to get out into the where the locals would be. They want to drive around and explore on their own. They didn't even care about having all inclusive because they were like, we probably won't be at the resort. So it doesn't matter. Like they
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
actually
you
be
did
out.
talk about that yesterday. So
Yeah.
there's two different types of travel stuff you could set up. Like one for people that want to stay at the resort, and then
Mhm.
it's like another one for people, I guess, resort and want to venture out. So
Yeah.
you could set all that up too, right?
Yeah, we can personalize it to your specific travel style. Like for them, they're actually doing two different resorts. So they wanted to be by the beach. They're divers. So they want
Okay.
to be by the beach so they could have some time to do some diving and snorkeling and that kind of thing. And then they're going to go more inland so they can do the volcanoes and the mud baths, the hot springs, all that kind of stuff. And they decided they wanted to get a car. Like we could have gotten them transportation to and from the different places, but they wanted to get a car so they could drive around and just kind of be free to move on their own. So
Oh,
it
okay.
really does depend on, and then I've had people who they're going to relax. They really just want to be at the resort with their all inclusive drinks. They're not really, there's people sometimes um, they're not really trying to do much. They just kind of want to sit by the pool or sit by the beach with their feet up and enjoy. And, it kind of depends on what you like. It
Yeah.
varies. Yeah.
Well, I guess that would cover what makes your business stand out from everybody else, you know. So you get a little personable with people and try to figure out what everybody wants to do, right?
Yeah, I prefer a very personal approach. I mean, travel is to me very personal in itself, right? Like you pick a certain destination for your own personal reasons, be it something historical you want to see, be it the beaches that you've heard about, whatever it might be, there's a reason that you pick that particular destination, right? And so I want to make sure that whatever it is you're seeking to get out of this time away, that is actually being fulfilled. Like my goal is to make your dream vacation a reality to the best of my ability, be it excursions or just the type of hotels that you want to stay into. Like there are a lot of green hotels and resorts now, so it's very open and you're just kind of with nature. Or if you just want to be in the air conditioner all the time and just kind of hang out. Like, there's so many options, and so taking the time to really understand what it is you're trying to get out of this vacation is like important to me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we got like two different kinds over here. So like I'd be the resort person. He would
Okay.
be he would be like the outdoorsy person to want to do like going to the beach and probably surfing and doing all kind of other stuff. So what happens if you got something like that?
So for me, is kind of like a balance of itinerary, right? I Again, this goes back to your personal choices, but for me, I don't like to fill every day of my vacation with something because I feel like you go on your vacation to come back and need a vacation from your vacation, right? Because you're so exhausted from running everywhere. So, like what we did when we went to Costa Rica is every other day we had something. So I would make
That's
sure
really
that
good.
you like had days at the resort.
Mhm.
If you wanted to go like surfing or something like that, I would try to make sure it was with maybe like a package, a combo package where there was something that you would enjoy. Um, while and he could do the surfing as well. So it's kind of a lot of the packages may have like 3 to 4 different things together, right? But you don't have to do them all. So it might be that maybe you only want to do the mud bath while he's doing the after he does the surfing or something like that. So I was just trying to kind of split it up to where everybody gets a little taste of the things that they want to do without anybody feeling, overwhelmed or like they're not having the opportunity to enjoy their vacation the way that they would want to.
Okay. So, what part of your business do you enjoy the most?
The learning. Honestly, like it's this world is so big. It's so much that I've learned. There are places that I didn't know existed, right? Just to be honest, you kind of live in your little bubble and you just don't know. And sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So researching all these different places, learning about all these different cultures. Um, we just did a trip, like I said, to Costa Rica. We stayed on the Pacific coast.
Mhm.
And from that trip, I now have 2 other trips that I want to plan. So I want to go back and go to the Caribbean coast so I can see how different it is. And then Guanacaste, the Pacific coast annex from Nicaragua. So now I want to go to Nicaragua because apparently there was a slave ship that crashed. So there's a huge Afro or African population in Nicaragua that I want to learn about because, again, didn't know. Just learned it through, talking to different tour guides and then researching a little bit more on my own. And I'm like, there's a whole other group of people that
So, the
I've never
slave
heard
ship is
anybody talk
there
about.
and you can see it, or it just crashed there?
It crashed, and apparently, like, there were 2 Spanish ships, 2 Spanish slave ships that crashed, and now the some of the slaves, of course, made it to Nicaragua. They live with the indigenous people, or hid among the indigenous people. So now there's this like whole sector of African culture there that I didn't know about it. I'm sure somebody did, but I didn't know. So now I want to know more. I want to go explore and
Exactly.
just, yeah, see what their lives are like and what's their story.
Yeah, because it's a lot that we don't know,
Yeah.
and a lot that we
Especially when it
started
comes to
that we
stuff
don't
like that. I mean, there are no books for that.
know. Actually, there is, but well, Kent is reading it, so I forgot
Ah,
the name of. Yeah, I have to get it to you. I think when we ruled. So
when we rule.
when we ruled, he
Okay.
it goes like way way back, but yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Mm.
Um, but how can someone get in touch with you and like is it like email? Do you want them calling, texting, DMing on your Instagram? Like if they want to set something up.
Yeah, if you wanted to, you can find me on Instagram at DNM Squared Travel. I'm also on Facebook, Destinations and Magnificent Memories. And both of those have links where you can either email me or DM me. There's a link on Instagram that'll take you to my link tree where there's like a travel request form. If you just wanted to go ahead and kind of fill that out and give me an idea of what you're looking for, and then we can just kind of start the process. I normally will just kind of pull a couple quotes, do a little bit of research, and then have a call with you to kind of get an idea of how those fit into what you had envisioned for your trip. So yeah, I'm available on both platforms.
Okay, cool. Do you have any advice for someone starting a business?
Advice. I think the first thing I would say is make sure it's something that you're passionate about. I mean, I know a lot of us want to start our own business and be entrepreneurs, and um, but I think that it matters. The product will show how passionate you are about it. It will make it easier to do the work. Hey Toya. It'll make it
Yeah, she
easier
got a
to do
question
the
too. I was
work.
waiting on you to finish
I
though.
can't. I'm like, what was I saying? It'll make it easier to do the work when it's something that you're truly passionate about. And just, I would say, take your time. Like, take the time to do your research, set yourself up properly before you dive out there. But also, don't be afraid. I am a total introvert. This is not me. This is not something that I'm comfortable with at all. But I told myself I have to, like, I just have to. And so here we are. It'll be worth it in the long run, I think, you know.
Okay, so Toya says just underscore LA underscore Toya. Any advice for people that want to travel but have anxiety when flying?
My advice would be to start with something close. Start with a very short flight, um, and just see how it goes. Like, I think a lot of times the fears that we have are just from not knowing. And once you've experienced it, I think you'll see that it's actually not as bad as you build it up in your head. So that would be my main probably advice, is just find a place that you want to go that's a very short, easy flight.
Mm, okay. So Diamond Planner, that's my wedding planner, y'all. Um, what is a good travel budget?
Oh, Diamond. That is a good question. Um, Let me think about that one. Because again, it's going to vary
Depending on where you go
where where
and
you're
what you're
going
doing.
and where you're coming from too.
Okay.
Because some places just you can just get better flights out of Atlanta, Dallas, than you can out of Arkansas or something. Um, right now, and flights right now are a little expensive. I think we all know. Um, I would say, depending on where you're going, a good budget to be like comfortable, all inclusive is going to be around at least 1,500 at minimum, at minimum. And that should get you a flight. It should be able to get you a good hotel. And this is going to probably Mexico or Punta Cana or Dominican Republic, somewhere like that. Right now, Cabo is probably going to be more in the 18 to 2000 range, 1800 to 2000 range.
Well, now she's saying
Um,
international, so I don't know where she's trying to go. I don't know if she's trying to go to Paris. She's trying to go
um, yeah,
uh, Ireland. Like, where are you trying to go? Um,
yeah.
so
So if you're
I guess
talking
that's something
like
she would have to contact you
Caribbean,
about.
Mexico, I would say 1,500 to 2,000. You should be able to at least get like your hotel. It would be all inclusive with your flight, and maybe like one or two excursions depending on what you want to do within that range. Now, when you start talking about Europe, it's going to get a little bit more expensive because your flight alone is going to be more expensive.
I just thought about that. She a Falcons fan. Maybe she's trying to go to the game.
Oh, man.
I'm like, maybe she's trying to go to the game. I just thought about that. Ooh, I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't
I
know
was
what.
good. I really
Huh?
do. I wish I could. We had too many trips already planned this year, so it just didn't work out. But I wish I could go to the game, honestly.
Y'all some dedicated Falcons fans.
We are. It's
I
a
mean,
tough life,
y'all some
but
die hard.
somebody got to do it.
I cannot. I cannot. Mm-mm. I don't even follow football like that. I'll go, but for the drinks and stuff. Kiosha underscore A underscore. When are you helping plan? Do you suggest the best time of year to go?
Yes, big thing. Especially with, the Caribbeans, Mexico, any of those tropical places. The rainy season can be so long, and I don't want you to spend a lot of money just to go somewhere that you can't enjoy it because it's always raining. Now, there are some areas, like if you're going to, again, Costa Rica in the rainforest, you're not going to really escape rain. It's about reducing it, and you'll see that the culture there is kind of like bring a raincoat because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to pour down, but you're going to get a sprinkle or something like that, and you're just going to need to be prepared for it. But absolutely, I just had a conversation with a client that wants to go to the Maldives, and they were trying to pick between May and July, and I'm like, definitely July. You do not want to be there in May. You get blown away.
Uh-oh.
July is still not even great, but it's much better than May. So yeah, definitely want to pay attention to the weather conditions, hurricane season, all those kind of things. Especially if you're going to like the Caribbean and that stuff.
Because Maldives, that's where they have like those little resorts that's out on the water.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the over the water bungalows, which they're starting to build those in a lot of other places too. I just saw some in Tahiti. There's a resort that they just built. I think it's maybe an hour or two from Miami. I think it's like a Four Seasons, but
Yeah,
it's
I
it's,
was
it's
just
that
getting ready to say that.
same bungalow over the water concept. Really nice.
I may need to plan that one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, she said Maldives is exactly where she wants to go. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
it's beautiful. Now Maldives can get a little expensive. It's a longer flight. It's a little longer flight, so that drives the prices up. But there are a lot of good deals out there for the Maldives right now. Um, some tour packages and that kind of thing. So let
And,
me
and
know.
Toya says, do you offer payment plans?
Yeah, we have payment plans. It does depend on timing. So I strongly recommend, I know sometimes it's hard to commit, but the earlier you plan a trip, the better, always. I would recommend that you get travel insurance because life happens. So if you need to, adjust your dates or something like that, you'll be covered. But the sooner you book a trip, the better your payment plan is going to be. Um, they typically require a deposit, and most of the time the deposit is going to cover your flight, and then the rest of it you can kind of pay for over the next 9 to 10 months. Most of them want you to be paid at least 90 days prior to departure.
Okay. So I'm assuming you do cruises as well. Do you do cruises too?
Yeah.
Okay.
We started doing cruises again. Most of them right now require you to be vaccinated. So I haven't done a lot of cruises yet, but I do have plenty of suppliers that I've worked with and trained with. So it is an option. I'm just trying to I guess identify people's comfort levels
Yeah.
with getting back on ships. So
Yeah.
I think we'll probably have to do one ourselves. I feel like that's kind of the best way to approach it is just to do it myself so that I can honestly, with my own experience, say that I feel comfortable, it feels safe because like I've traveled internationally during COVID. So I feel comfortable saying that you can do it safely and it's possible, right? I know that a lot of these cultures or countries, because tourism is such a big part um, of their economy, like they make the efforts to keep things clean and to make you feel safe. I haven't done the cruises yet since COVID, so I do have a network of people who have gone, and they have said good things. You know, they have had good experiences, but I haven't done it personally myself. So I think that's the next thing on my list to check off, so I can, just I would prefer to have that comfort and confidence when if I'm gonna tell you something, I want to be able to stand by it.
Yeah. I'll be the one to have that anxiety about getting on the plane now. Well, even with COVID and stuff, but yeah,
You don't you don't fly well, or just with COVID?
um, before I was okay, but I mean, I was like doing short trips, like New York, Florida, stuff like
Okay.
that. Um, but now
No.
that with
Okay.
COVID happening, and it's like they kind of, yeah, I don't.
So I'll tell you another trick. I don't know if it works so much with adults, but what I used to do with Mason when he was younger is I would take later flights. So I would take maybe a 7:45, 8 a.m., 8 p.m. flight because 9 times out of 10, he was going to sleep.
Mm.
So if you're uncomfortable, consider that. Try doing it later too. So you can just rest. Just go to sleep. It'll
Gonna
be
have to
fine.
be real late for me because shoot, at that time I still be up.
Not me. I'm aging myself, I guess. So at 9 o'clock, I'm like, whoo.
Mm-mm. No, I still be up. Anyway,
But I mean, 8 o'clock was an example, but I mean, you can do a 9, 10 o'clock flight
oh yeah,
sometimes.
that may work.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus you.
I know. Oh, yeah, that always helps. It always helps.
But that is just me. Anybody else have any questions that they want to ask Myisha while we're here? Okay. Give everybody a couple seconds. I'm sinking in over here. I feel like I'm going into the sunken place.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I know, right? Okay. Well, if that's it, y'all can reach Myisha on her travel Instagram and email. The email is on your Instagram, correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And she will get back to you as soon as possible. Have personal conversations with you. Try to figure out, where you want to go. Make it personal for you. See what you want to do. And yeah, and this will also be posted on my YouTube. FYI, look into Black Business. I'll send you that link once I post it, Myisha, so you can forward it or do whatever you want.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
post it on your Instagram as well.
Awesome stuff.
All right.
Thank you.
See, you did good, girl.
Well,
Did
thank you.
good. Well,
You
thank
know, this is not my thing, but thank you for having me.
Hey, we got to get out there. We got to get out there. And I said, I
Yeah.
got to get back out there. Thanks for planning our trip to Florida in November. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh,
Okay,
I know
then.
why he's going to November. I'm to Florida.
I know. That's what I was telling you. I was like, I was kind of upset because I should have been calling you in the first place to plan ours. So,
Yeah, but now
yeah.
you know.
Now I know. Now I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Saved us some money. Anyway, but but I'm glad they got their trip planned and probably saved them some money. But now we know. Contact you from now on.
Yes,
D
ma'am.
D&M Square Travel Agency. All right. See you later, girl.
See ya. Thanks, girl.
All right. Bye.
Bye.